The autumn treasure of Knopka the kitten and Tyopa the pup. In the very heart of the autumn forest, where leaves rustle under tiny paws and the air smells of apples and moss, there lived a little kitten named Knopka and a puppy named Tyopa. Knopka was snow white and fluffy, with eyes green as mint. She wore a cozy striped sweater because the mornings in the forest were getting chilly. Tyopa, on the other hand, was reddish-brown with shaggy fur and wore a red scarf around his neck, for style, as he liked to say. They lived side by side near a wooden cabin, and every day began with a cup of warm apple compote, Grandma Owl's special recipe, and a chat about their plans for the day. One morning, when the sun shone especially gently, Knopka jumped off a tree stump and exclaimed, "Tyopa, do you remember what day it is today?" What?" Tyopa yawned, crawling out of his doghouse. "The day of the autumn treasure," Knopka repeated happily. "It's when the forest hides gifts for those who notice the little things. We have to find it." Tyopa shook himself, adjusted his scarf, and nodded. "Well then, Captain, lead the way." And so their adventure began. First, they stopped by Skippy the squirrel. She was, as always, busy with something important, drying mushrooms on branches. "A treasure?" she repeated, cracking a nut. "I saw some tracks over there, past the lake, yesterday. Maybe you should check it out." Knopka pulled a compass from her sweater pocket, plastic but very stylish, and led the way toward the lake. On their journey, they rescued a little hedgehog tangled in a plush scarf, crossed a stream on a fallen tree. Tyopa was a bit scared, but Knopka cheered him on, and even found an old note tied to an acorn. It read, "Seek and you shall find. In a hollowed stump, the forest folk hide their treasure." "A stump?" Tyopa frowned. "There are 100 stumps in this forest." "But not all stumps are magical," Knopka replied mysteriously. After a long search, when their paws were tired, they stumbled upon a strange stump. It was covered in golden moss and smelled of honey. Knopka tapped on it gently, and suddenly the lid creaked open. Inside, they didn't find gold or toys, but something far more precious. A bundle of dried apples with cinnamon, Tyopa's favorite, a soft woolen blanket, a little book of fairy tales with the inscription, "For the very best friends." Knopka and Tyopa looked at each other and laughed. "Now that's a real treasure," whispered Tyopa, unfolding the blanket. That evening, wrapped up in it, they sat by their cabin, flipped through the book, and sipped hot compote. "You know," purred Knopka, "I think the real treasure isn't something you can lock in a chest." "Then what is it?" asked Tyopa, yawning. "It's adventures, and friends by your side." The pup nodded and fell asleep with his head resting on her paws, and the wind whispered through the leaves. "Those who search with a kind heart, the forest will always reward them." High in the branches, the old owl nodded into the darkness. Everything was going according to plan.